Hey everybody, Kyrie091 hanging out with you. Boy oh boy are we going to have big fun today talking about the Change the Channel movement and all the crazy channel awesome news that's been going on lately here on YouTube. So why am I talking about this topic on my channel, a channel that is normally reserved for bringing you the finest gaming content on YouTube? Because it's my channel and I don't give a fuck! So what is channel awesome? Well, if you've been living under a rock for the last 10 years, you probably don't know what channel awesome is. I'll fill you in real quick. Channel awesome is a media aggregator site that became really popular over the last decade or so. It was started, I think, around 2008 by a guy by the name of Doug Walker. Doug, of course, is known for playing a couple of different characters on the site, including, I don't know what the character's name is, but he hosts a show called Bum Reviews. He's like this bum. And for playing, of course, the Nostalgia Critic. So, anyways, Doug Walker opened a site called ThatGuyWithTheGlasses back around 2008 or so. Sort of riding the coattails, in my opinion, riding the coattails of the angry Nintendo nerd, the angry video game nerd, James Rolfe's popular show on his site, Cinemassacre. So anyway, Doug Walker opens up That Guy with the Glasses. Has a couple successful shows of his own, gets a few other people involved, and they create a pretty successful little media outlet that does embedding, not necessarily hosting of content, but you can go there to see your favorite shows like Nostalgia Critic and others. And the reason, I know what you're thinking, why wasn't it just YouTube? Why didn't people just go to YouTube? Well, back in those days, it was really hard to do a review show on YouTube because of how easy it was for companies to have your review taken down on the grounds that you were using, let's say you did a review of, like, I don't know, a movie. The owner of that movie, the studio that owned it, would come take your video down because you use clips from the movie in your video. Well, of course you use clips from the movie. You're doing a freaking review, which does fall under fair use, so there's actually no legal grounds for removing your video, but back in those days, it was super easy for companies to get your stuff taken down. So reviewers like Nostalgia Critic and the Angry Video Game Nerd and others would usually host their videos somewhere other than YouTube. So that's where that guy with the glasses came in. As the site grew, they added lots of other reviewers, some pretty popular names in the review scene, I guess. Linkara, Obscurus Lupa, Mars Girl, Lindsay Ellis, a.k.a. Nostalgia Chick. Let's see, who else was there? Spoonie. Fucking, God, Cinema Snob. That's who I was trying. Man, why did that take me so long to get that out? Point is that there's a lot of big name reviewers that were on ThatGuyWithTheGlasses.com. Sometime, I think circa maybe 2010, 2011, they changed the name from ThatGuyWithTheGlasses.com to ChannelAwesome.com. And they sort of rebranded themselves, but it was the same idea. It was just a place you went to go watch your reviews and stuff that you couldn't get on YouTube, so you had to go to Channel Awesome to see them. And over the years, for one reason or another, producers would come and go. In fact, TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheist, a pretty popular YouTuber named TJ Kirk, was on ThatGuyWithTheGlasses.com for a couple of years, producing content on there. I think his name was like The Distressed Viewer or something like that. I never watched any of his stuff on that website, but I was a fan of That Guy with the Glasses. Count me in as a fan. Sign me up as a fan of ThatGuyWithTheGlasses.com, fan of Nostalgia Critic, all that stuff. I thought it was all pretty good stuff myself. I especially liked Obscurus Lupa. I thought her stuff was freaking hilarious, and Nostalgia Chick, believe it or not, man. Like, that was some of the funniest shit I ever saw. Nostalgia Critic had some good episodes every here and there, but honestly, I found that I don't know, I didn't find a lot of his jokes to be all that funny. Sometimes there were some really clever episodes, but sometimes they were just not that good. The one thing that Nostalgia Critic did have going for him was some amazing supporting actors, like Tamara Chambers and Malcolm, I don't know his last name. Tamara and Malcolm, I think they're still on Nostalgia Critic if I'm not mistaken, and they're freaking great. And Doug has done some other stuff too. Doug Walker has like a weird talk show called like Shut Up and Talk, where he interviews like, well, the biggest names he can get, which are usually other YouTubers. Or I think he even talked to Tommy Wiseau, the writer and director and star and producer of the freaking cult classic The Room. Yeah, so anyways, that's boy, I'm really getting off on a tangent. That's what Channel Awesome is. That's what Channel Awesome is all about. If you weren't familiar with it, now hopefully you get it, what Channel Awesome is. These days, Channel Awesome is not as big of a deal as it used to be because of YouTube. I don't want to say they've relaxed the copyright rules, but they've made it easier. They made it harder, rather, for content owners to like take down your video. Like if you did like a review of like, I don't know, a freaking movie. If you did a review of a movie or like a video game or something, it's a little bit harder for the owner of that movie or video game to have your video taken down just because you used a clip or a picture from the movie in it. It's not as easy now as it used to be, which means that most of the reviewers either put their stuff on both Channel Awesome and YouTube, or they could if they don't. So Channel Awesome is not as big of a deal as it used to be. It's sort of been declining in viewership, and certainly after this most recent controversy, it has declined in subscribers here on YouTube. What did they do recently that made such freaking big news? Well, throughout Channel Awesome's history, there have been a couple of times when there was just a mass exodus of content producers. Remember, they're a content aggregator site where you can go there to see your favorite shows that they have on there. And every now and then, large groups of, I mean, there would be occasionally, you know, one comes, one goes, one comes, one goes. But every now and then they'll have just like a large group of people leave all at once. And they always have such awful things to say about the management there. The site's run by the Walker brothers, Doug and Rob Walker, and this guy named Mike Machad, I guess. I don't know much about him, but apparently he's like the CEO of Channel Awesome. He's like the main guy that runs the whole operation. I would have thought it was Doug Walker, honestly. His face is all over the website. He is the Nostalgia Critic. I would have thought it would be his show, but I guess Mike Machad owns it. Anyway, so every time these people leave the website, they always got these horror stories about the mismanagement and what an asshole Mike Machad is, including allegations of like sexual harassment against some of the content producers. One of their HR people like resigned in protest or something like that over some sexual harassment stuff. And then there's just general mismanagement, miscommunication, poor communicate. They love Skype calls. Man, I've done some listening to like videos or like podcasts or whatever on this topic, and every freaking one of them talks about incidents that happened on a Skype call. These dudes do all of their dealings over fucking Skype. Jesus Christ, it's weird. Anywho, so apparently a lot of mismanagement, a lot of poor management by the Walkers, the Walker brothers, and Mike Machad that just lead to a lot of people leaving. Whatever, that's business. Except that the way that they leave, because the people that are leaving are well-known content producers, they can then go to their audience and make a big fuss out of it. You know, if you fire Obscurus Lupa, you got to figure that she's going to come out and talk a little bit about it, you know, and not because she wants to stir up controversy or whatever, but because her fans that have been going to Channel Awesome for years to watch her content now suddenly go there and her content has all been deleted and there's no indication as to what happened. And you know, Channel Awesome isn't going to put out a statement explaining what happened or saying, hey, if you really liked Obscurus Lupa, you can continue watching her stuff by going to her new website. They're not going to do that. So as fans, you know, what are they going to do? They're going to go to Obscurus Lupa's Twitter. If she has a YouTube or whatever or any other social media, they're just going to try to find out what's going on. So, of course, the content producers that are getting let go are going to speak out. Why the hell wouldn't they? That's just how shit works. So what made news recently was that Obscurus Lupa and I think Mars Girl and a bunch, I actually haven't read the whole document myself. I've glanced at it a bit, but I haven't read the whole document. They all got together and compiled like a list of their grievances of all the shit that Mike Machad and the Walker brothers have put them through over the last, you know, years. Like, for example, they were, as being part of the site, being part of That Guy with the Glasses, keep in mind, when you agree to go on that site, your reason for going there is to get exposure, to get your video out there to a wider audience, because you know you can't put it on YouTube, because remember I said the whole fucking YouTube copyright system used to be a whole lot worse than it is now, and it sucks now, but it used to be even worse back in the day. So you couldn't put your shit on YouTube. You know, it was really hard to get your videos out there. So That Guy with the Glasses was just like a great way to get your content to your viewers and make a little bit of money, right? That's what it was all about, was making money. These people do this shit for a living. So part of the agreement, if you wanted your stuff to be featured on That Guy with the Glasses, you had to sign on to do things like crossover episodes with other content producers. You know, and this sounds kind of fun, except that it presents a significant burden. Because these people don't really live in the same area. Some of them literally lived in other countries. You know, Doug Walker, the Nostalgia Critic, lives in Chicago. So if he was filming something in Chicago, guess what? You are going to have to drop what you're doing, stop making videos, which means stop working, which means stop earning money, and fly to fucking Chicago for a week or two to film some project with him. The projects, the big projects, they would make a movie every year. Doug Walker envisions himself like a director or whatever. So they were always unpaid. You know, you get someone like Lindsay Ellis, Nostalgia Chick, to come all the way out to the middle of the desert wherever they filmed fucking, they did this one called Kick-Assia, and they make her come all the way out there. She's not getting paid. The only thing they do is they fly her out there. They paid her for her to fly out there. They work long hours. They don't have the right, you know, he's an amateur filmmaker. He's not a professional. So they don't have the right insurance or like the right accommodations to accommodate a cast and crew of that size, including things like water and other basic supplies. So it's just a very unpleasant production. Nobody's having a good time. It's not like you can walk away from this set saying, man, we had a great time on the set of Kick-Assia or fucking Suburban Nights or whatever the hell they were filming that year, right? So part of being on the site was that you had to go do these little projects, even if you didn't care to, even if it wasn't really your thing and you just wanted to go do something else. But you couldn't. You had to be part of it, and it was unpaid, and it was unpleasant, and nobody liked doing it, but they were forced to do it every year to continue hosting their content on the site. So they did. But just the way that they were treated during this process, a lot of the producers just didn't like that. So that's what this document was about. It airs all the grievances and all the issues that these producers experienced over their time at That Guy with the Glasses, and they put it all in a Google Doc. It's like 70 pages long. That's why I haven't read the whole fucking thing. And then posted it on Twitter. And it blew up. And everyone was freaking the frick out. Everybody was like losing their shit about it, right? The responses from all over the internet, from content producers, like the people that had used to be on That Guy with the Glasses, all had something to say about it, even ones who didn't chip in to fucking... And yes, there were actually some people who came in and came to the defense of Channel Awesome. Like Tamara Chambers and Malcolm whatever. Malcolm Ray, I guess. I have his statement right here. In the statement, he says, let's see. He says, there's things that allegedly happened before I ever even auditioned for Channel Awesome, so he can't speak to that. But he says his time at Channel Awesome is some of the best years of his professional life. And he said, I'd been hard-pressed to find a better gig. The scripts have been fun. Working with Doug, Rob, and their dad, Jim, has been some of the smoothest productions he's ever worked on. And he's seen some pretty awful sets, apparently. So, the point is that, you know, a current performer, actor, Malcolm Ray, and Tamara Chambers seem to think that it's just great there. By the way, full disclosure, I have a total crush on Tamara Chambers, even though I think I'm like 11 feet taller than her, but that's all right, though. So, Tamara, if you're watching, tweet me. One of the biggest things that Channel Awesome did recently that caused a bunch of backlash was their response to this. Now, let me tell you guys something real quick. This is Kyrie's advice to you on a proper apology. When you fuck up and it's time to apologize, it's a 3-step process. There are 3 components to a good apology. Number 1, I am sorry that I did blank. You specifically say what it is that you did wrong. Part 1 of your apology. Part 2, I understand that blank hurt you because. So, like, you tell them, number 1, what you did. Number 2, that you understand why they would be upset that you did it. And then finally, the third part of your apology is what you're going to do differently in the future so that you don't make the same mistake again. That's what an apology consists of. 3 parts. What you did, why it was wrong for you to have done it, and what you're going to do differently next time. You list those 3 things, you got yourself a dynamite apology. Let me quote from you Channel Awesome's little apology that they put out, and you can tell me if it meets the Kyrie criteria here. I'm not going to read the whole fucking statement. I'm just going to read the part that kind of is an apology. All right. For the people who have spoken out about past instances they deemed hurtful or unprofessional, we sincerely regret that you felt that way. I'm going to read that again. We sincerely regret that you felt that way. In other words, we are so sorry that you got so butthurt for something that we did for just doing a little sexual harassment on you in the fucking back room and shit. Right? I mean, that really did happen. At least that's what the claim is. We're sorry that you felt that. We regret that you felt that way. When you sexually harass one of your content producers, that's how you respond? No wonder YouTube is blowing up with all kinds of anti-Channel Awesome sentiment, hashtag change the channel, all this shit that's going on. No wonder. What a lousy apology. I hope that somebody from Channel Awesome watches my little video here and gets the 3-part apology down pat. In fact, I hope everybody gets a 3-part apology, because you know what it would do everybody some good if y'all would learn how to fucking apologize. When you do something wrong, man the fuck up. Take Kyrie's 3-part apology system and put that shit to work and watch all your problems go away. A good apology can fix so many things. So many of your mistakes can be wiped clean with a simple, heartfelt apology in 3 parts.